Hey guys, what's going on? All Hail King 9 back with another video. And today it's the final day of the Paris Legion home series, and I'm just going to break down these two matchups that we have and just tell you guys my favorite plays for this slate. Now, yesterday was a bit of a weird day. Optic Gaming got absolutely demolished, and we had Slasher in the one lineup I made on here, and that did cause a little bit of trouble in one of my entries. I didn't win in a $1 entry tournament, but I did end up winning in a $5 entry tournament, so I was able to make some profit there. I also am going to be doing something a little different in this video, as yesterday I started playing DraftKings, and I was able to be pretty successful, winning 2 out of the 3 entries that I had on there. There's a lot more tournaments on that website, a lot more players, and a lot more prizes for DraftKings. So I am going to be doing both in this video. I'm going to start out with FanDuel, obviously, as you can see, and then I'm going to move over to DraftKings and show you guys my favorite picks for there as well. So let's hop right into it. Alright, so first up, we're going to discuss the New York Subliners versus the Florida Mutineers. Now, these teams played a couple events ago, and New York actually won 3-0, but Florida looks completely different from that tournament, and they're a lot better. Obviously, they've been playing like one of the best teams in the game right now. So, for me, I think Florida's going to handle this series pretty well. I think they're going to take it probably in 4 games. So, I think Florida's probably the safest team pick here. I think the phased Empire could really go either way. I think Florida's probably going to win this series, and they'll probably get you the most points out of any of these teams here. Now, for the player side of things, in this New York versus Florida matchup, I like a lot of the Florida players. They've all been playing extremely well. All of them can really put up big numbers for you, and for that reason, I'm gonna get some decent exposure to some of these players. I definitely want Awakening. I'm gonna put him in my MVP spot for today. He's just been playing so well. He's so consistent, as you can see here. He absolutely went off yesterday. If he could do that again, it would be amazing in the MVP spot. Might be tough though, because I don't know if this series will go 5 games. I personally can't really see it going 5, but New York did take FaZe to 5 yesterday, so could be a good series. I do think Awakening will still put up massive points for you in that MVP spot. So for the next player on Florida, like I said, there's all of them are really good options, with the exception of Frosty. He's a great player. He's probably not going to put up great fantasy numbers for you. He did hit 108 yesterday, but I still don't think I'm going to try to target him. The 2 players I really like, I mean, Skies is unbelievable too, but the 2 players I really like are Pharaoh and Havoc. And for FanDuel, I'm going to have Havoc in, just because of the difference in price. They're both pretty similar players. Havoc was demolishing yesterday, and honestly, super hot streak right here. So he's been playing really well. He doesn't get talked about a lot, excuse me. And I do think he's a great player, so I'm going to have him in as well. Great price too. And that's all I'm gonna have for Florida for this slate. But like I said, you can't go wrong with picking Pharaoh or Skies here as well. And then for the New York side of things, I'm gonna stick with Mac. Mac has been super consistent as well. He's just been a great player for New York. He really keeps New York in these games. He puts up huge kill numbers in a lot of games, and he constantly throws up 100 plus points. So I definitely want him in my lineup, and I think that's a great play here. Another player from New York that I'm going to take just so I could get some other big guys is going to be Zuma. Zuma is really cheap, and he looked really good yesterday. Zuma's the type of player that flanks around the map. He always gets behind his opponents, and it doesn't matter who he plays, he's going to make an impact on that map. So, as you can see, yesterday, great showing, 113 and 94.7. He's going to make an impact. He always finds a way to get himself involved and help out his team. And if it's going to be a competitive series, it's probably going to be because Zuma's really playing well aside next to Mac. So I do think those are pretty good options from this game as we move on to the next one. Alright, now for the next game, we got Dallas versus Atlanta. This one's going to be a great matchup to watch. They obviously played the last event, and it went to 5 games, but FaZe took that series. I could really see it going either way. Both teams are playing really, really good. For the players that I want to target in this, as you can see, we still have $19,700 still remaining. We could get some pretty big guys here. So for me, I'm gonna put Celium in my lineup. Celium has just been absolutely amazing. Best player on FaZe right now by far. He's playing so good. I mean, 189 yesterday against in the series against Toronto, or that was Friday, excuse me, but absolutely ridiculous performance. He's definitely someone I want in my lineup. He's just so skilled. This series probably going 5 games again. Him playing 5 games is going to be great for us. He's going to get us a ton of points. Definitely want Celium in my lineup. Now, we got $9,600 available. Obviously, we can't spend up on Simp. Great player. Like I said, I think Celium's playing a little bit better than him right now. Could get a BZ. He's a little bit inconsistent. He looked really good yesterday, but he's been inconsistent these past few events. But Shotzi's price has gone down so much in like one day. He was up past 10,000 and he's only at 9,300. I'm sure he's going to be so heavily owned, but he should be. He's a top player in the game. His price is much cheaper than it has been. Definitely putting him in my lineup. I mean, the kid's just an absolute freak. The last time these two teams played, 146 points. Great match. He's going to be able to perform again. And like I said, most likely going to go 5 games here. So this is what my lineup's going to be looking like here on FanDuel. Going to do a couple other entries. And I'll probably make a couple switches, like I said. Maybe switching it up with like Pharaoh for the Florida team, or trying to do some different things. But I think this is probably an optimal lineup here, and I wish you guys the best of luck here on FanDuel. And I'm gonna hop over in DraftKings in just a second. All right, so we're now over here on DraftKings. Gonna do kind of the same thing, but probably not as much in-depth analysis as I just did for the FanDuel lineups, because it would be a little bit of overlap here. So still going to go matchup by matchup. So starting with this New York and Florida game. For this lineup on DraftKings, I don't know if I'm going to be targeting anybody from the New York side. Uh, I do like Mac a lot, but I think that with the way the DraftKings pricing is and stuff, I think you could get some better players and some better value. So I'll show you guys how I'm going to build this lineup. But for the MVP spot, similar to same thing as FanDuel, I'm going to put Awakening there. He's just been so consistent. He's a great price. I mean, the only player a little bit more expensive than him is Shotzi. I could see maybe going Celium as your MVP because he's been playing so well, and it probably has a bigger potential of going 5 games rather than this Florida New York series. So I definitely could see putting Celium in this spot instead of Awakening. I think either way is a good option. Probably make a couple other lineups that has Celium as the MVP as well. But moving on with this same series. So yeah, like I said, I'm probably not gonna have any New York players here. In FanDuel, I had Havoc. For this, I'm gonna put in Pharaoh. I think Pharaoh's been playing really well. He plays the objective really well. He's a little bit more expensive than Havoc here, but I think he's worth it. He's just playing so well. He's probably would be the second best player on Florida right now, I think. He's just been playing out of his mind. And same thing as I did on FanDuel, I'm going to have Florida as the team. I think they're the safest pick for a team. Dallas and Atlanta, it could go either way in that series, in my opinion. It's kind of hard to predict the winner of that. I think Florida's definitely going to come out on top, whether it's in 3 games or whether it's in 5 games. I think Florida's winning this series for sure. So then moving on to the Dallas Atlanta game. All right, so for this game, we still have some money to work with here. I'm going to put in Shotzi here because the last time Dallas and Atlanta played last event, he really played well against Atlanta. You can see 147. That's the second most he went off against Optic Gaming. But who doesn't go off against Optic Gaming? I mean, yeah, he played well against Atlanta, really well. I'm gonna have him in. He's still probably top 3 player in the game, so definitely gonna have Shotzi here. And then we still have 2 more spots to fill, and I think it's both gonna be from Phase, Celium and Simp. You can't go wrong with either of them. They're so talented. Like Shotzi, top players in the game right there. Simp's very very cheap. He was considered the best player on Phase for a long time. Celium's been outperforming him a little bit, but they're still so good. You can see they're both averaging pretty similar numbers. I think this lineup is stacked, honestly. It's a super good lineup here. I think it's a little bit better than the one on FanDuel. Uh, but yeah, I think this is a very good lineup to have. Like I said, I might swap things around in a couple different lineups. Switching Celium for the MVP spot, maybe putting Shotzi in it in a couple. But yeah, you could play around with that. Try to. I don't really know if you could buy up for any other players. Maybe try to get Mac in one of your lineups. But yeah, other than that, I think this is a really solid lineup, and I think it will perform well on Sunday. So I thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe for more COD content in the future, and I wish you guys the best of luck for this Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.